we're going to move it on to another sport. And we're going to start with glory fucking hallelujah. And we're going to start with some NCAA football action this week.
Oh, and for all you people out there, don't worry. Our NBA coverage is coming soon. You just relax.
Yeah, you can believe that shit. Now, we're going to roll through this stuff. We're going to start with the biggest game of the week. And obviously, that was Miami visiting, going to Tallahassee and visiting Florida State. Do we really
have to talk about that?
We really do have to talk about that. And why George is saying that, because he's a huge U fan. And I think with Vegas having a 21, point spread, at the beginning of the game, I thought, you know what? Hey, they might not cover the spread. This might be a tough game for them. And then, once again, you saw Jameis Winston. Even though he threw 2 picks, the guy has so much fucking composure, and he just stayed calm, collective, bam, and he started picking them apart, and Florida State gets the win, 41-14. But most importantly, they move back up to the 2 spot in the BCS. Do you see how good this guy kicking through the base?
That shit's going to last till Thursday. If Oregon wins on Thursday, then they're going to go right back down, so they can like it while they last.
And they had a very good thing. And most of what we're going to talk about is the BCS and how it plays out, because you've got the 4 top teams right now. You've got Alabama, Oregon, Florida State, and Ohio State. And the focus has been on the top 3. And they've already said if they all win flat out, straight out, including the ACC, their championship games, the ACC champion, Pac-12 championship, and the SEC championship, it will be Alabama and Oregon. Because right now, Florida State has played their most difficult part of their schedule. And Oregon, the rest of the teams that Florida State plays, the rest of the season, I think the best record is 4-4 right now. Whereas Oregon they play all winning record teams. So it just doesn't look good for Florida State fans if these teams win out. That's why
I can tell you right now, every Florida State fan will be an LSU fan come this weekend.
Yeah. And it's so fun. Right, they're going to be an LSU fan, and it's funny to be a Florida State fan. You have to actually root for your biggest rivals, your in-state rivals, Florida and the U, because you want those guys. You're going to face Florida at the end of the year. You want them to have the best record possible when you face them, and in the U, you want them to continue to win the rest of their games and only have that one loss to you when you face them in the ACC championship. Now, Ohio State's sitting back, and now, in the 4th spot, George, and they're a team that has not lost a game in 2 years. I mean,
but they haven't played a real football team in 2 years either.
You know what? You can't really argue that point and stuff like that, but I don't think I'd put them in the category as Boise State, because I didn't say that. Now, don't put words in my mouth. Oh, no, I'm not saying that. But I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm just saying I don't think in general you would put them in the category. Not saying that you said it, but just in general. You wouldn't put them
no. They put it this way. They play tougher competition week in and week out than Boise's played in the last 25 years.
Absolutely. And the fact that just you got fucking Urban Meyer in the driver's seat, that tells you a lot. So I think people are starting to say, now you go.
Ohio State's next toughest game is their very last one. It's at Michigan.
Yeah.
I don't think Michigan's not going to come out there guns blazing trying to spoil their season, because they know if they can give Ohio State a loss, then it totally knocks any hope they have of playing in the national title out.
Well, it's Michigan State, you mean? Because Michigan State, right?
No, I mean Michigan. Michigan on November 30th.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, so they don't. Oh, so Michigan, they don't even play. But what? Now let me ask you this: if oh God, can you pull up the Big Ten? Pull up the Big Ten standings right now, okay? If you pull up the Big Ten standings, okay. What it
Michigan State's on the other side at 5-0.
Right,
Ohio State's at 5-0 in the conference. Now Michigan State's got a loss; they're 8-1 overall.
Right. So Michigan. When I say George says Michigan during the regular season, I'm saying Michigan State in the Big Ten championship.
Do they have a Big Ten championship?
I guess they are. Are they even numbers on both sides? I think this is the first year for it, isn't it? Because 2 people come into the Big Ten next year. They're even numbers, so they have a Big Ten championship this year. And next year, Maryland comes on one side and Rutgers comes in on the other side. So they'll be.
Oh shit! Batten down the hatches, bitches.
But so they have a championship game this year, and it's more than likely that Ohio State will fight.
How did they get stuck with worse and worser?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think things are going to change. The whole landscape of the NCAA football is going to change with this playoff system, because now you're going to look at recruiters being able to say, hey, you know what? You know, we're all these teams have a network. But another thing is the SEC's network is now ESPN. That's huge for recruiting. You know, you're going to be on ESPN every fucking Saturday. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, so they do still get the edge over the other conferences in the NCAA, but I think the other conferences like the Big Ten says, hey, if we win out our conference, we're in the playoffs, you know? So all these teams are not looking at, you know, everybody has a chance now. Like this year we could see the four teams that are undefeated, you know, looking at possibly going up against each other, but who knows? Anyway, Ohio State went to Purdue and smashed them 56-0. I mean, it's not much more to say about it. A team, you said LSU, and you know, they've got 2 losses. I tell you another team that I think is, and I don't know if they're going to face Alabama, if they face, it's Auburn. I think that might be their biggest test.
Well, I mean, to me, I want them to knock off Alabama next week. This weekend they play Alabama. To me, there's no bigger game in the entire season. Because if they give Alabama a loss right now, it could hurt them.
Yeah, it you know, it's funny if LSU can do that. You know, and everybody's talking about Oregon and Florida State getting an L. No one's talking about Alabama. It's like all of a sudden Alabama has become this fucking invincible thing, which is aggravating as shit.
What's amazing is at the beginning of the season, everyone was talking about how Oregon should have, or the number 2 team in the nation should have leapfrogged Alabama because they're not winning enough. Now right. Alabama's coming out there and just juggernauting everyone, and now everyone's quiet and they don't want to talk about Alabama. You people did it. All you damn media people pissed them off. Now they're running up the score and killing teams. But
right.
they're 5-0 and they're 8-0. I mean, they're 5-0 in their conference, 8-0 overall. I mean,
it's crazy. I mean, it's you know, and the thing is, it's like, yeah, you're right, George. They went from one extreme to the other extreme. Now it's like Alabama's invincible. I'm thinking, okay, Alabama has to get past LSU, okay, and that is going to be a tough game. And I think at the end of the season, they have to go into Auburn. That is going to be another fucking tough. Auburn has only had 1 loss. You know, they're sitting at number 11 in the country, and everybody knows that rivalry is huge. That in-state rivalry, that could be another.
And like you said, that's at Auburn. That's going to be a massive game, dude.
Yeah, and then after that, they're going to have a championship game. So I mean, right. Alabama to run the table, it's tough. Like sometimes I'm thinking, okay, everybody's talking, oh, Alabama's going undefeated. It's for the number 2 slot. I'm thinking, shit, Alabama better be worried. I mean, there might not be an SEC team in the national championship, you know?
There's a strong possibility.
There's a strong possibility. Another good reason we got the playoffs next year. Anyway.
Thank high heavens.
Your boy Johnny Manziel got it done again against UTEP. Everybody was going crazy, but I'm like, you know what? It's he accounted for UTEP. What? 6 touchdowns? Huh?
Good for him.
University of Texas, El Paso, basically.
Yeah, whoop-de-fucking do.
South Carolina, won over Mississippi State, and in Texas Tech, who everybody was talking a lot about, just got hit on the chin by Oklahoma State and got just
robbed.
Dude,
the lights came on and Texas Tech has disappeared the last 2 weeks.
It's just gone. Like, they went from 15, and I think now they dropped to 25. They're in the last spot in the BCS.
Yeah, bye-bye.
You know, now Fresno State remains undefeated, but once again, it's just like the thing with Boise State. They're not playing anything. And now we have another team in the mix, and that's Northern Illinois, who beat Massachusetts 63-19. They're undefeated.
Stop.
But both of these teams have played nobody. Nobody.
Well, the only thing I'm glad is I don't have to hear it. I don't have to hear Northern Illinois or Fresno State talk about how they're being treated unfairly and no one's giving them any credit. You're not playing anyone. You know you're not playing anyone. So thank you for doing the best you can, which is going undefeated and playing no one. So
right.
No one cares. Both of you could go undefeated and not be in the top 10. That is honestly a reality.
Yes. Yeah, you're right about it. Now, it's all the other games. Now all the games, obviously, this Thursday, we've got Oregon going to Stanford. That's a big fucking game. Another big game is Oklahoma going to Baylor because Baylor's undefeated. Huh?
Yep.
Huge game. And then, obviously, we've got LSU visiting Alabama. Who that is always going to be fucking tough. I don't care what anybody says. And pretty much, if you look at the top 25, those are the only 3 games I feel like that are really of significance. Florida State's going up against Wake Forest. They should get the job done there. Missouri's going against Kentucky. They should roll there. And Virginia Tech is going. Virginia Tech's coming to Miami, and I don't know what's up with Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech is rotten.
They are just fucking. They got fucking housed by Duke, and then they got beat by Boston College. And I just think it's probably time for a whole overhaul of that program, man. I mean, I think now Beamer made that program what it is, and now it's kind of getting to the point where it's like, okay, it's kind of like Andy Reid in Philadelphia. Probably time for some change.
It's time for Beamer to move on. And look, I like Beamer. I always
do too.
He puts together. You know, I got to question it how Marcus and Michael got away without ever making the headlines. But hey, stranger things have happened. Look no further than West Virginia.
Yeah. Right. Now, anyway, everybody, comments below. Tell us what's going on. Tell us if you think these 4 teams that are sitting at 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the BCS all of them will be able to ride it out.